Good morning, everybody. How's everyone doing this Saturday morning? Beautiful sunny Saturday. I mean, of course, it's always pretty sunny in southern Arizona. Nice 92 currently with a high of 103, which is a lot lower than what we've had this week. We've had temperatures 111, 113. And summer is finally here. Yesterday was the first day of summer solstice. So, that being said, it's finally going to heat up and stay hot for a while. So, I'm not looking forward to it, but at the same time, I know that once we get past that summer heat and we got nice winter where we can still wear tank tops and shorts. So I really, only put up with the heat for that reason. But hopefully we had a good week. I know a lot of us probably had the 19th off, which was Thursday. I actually ended up logging into work. I didn't really hear anything about it. We had it off. I logged in. There was nobody there. So I look at the schedule, said holiday. So, all right, cool. Logged right off. So, had a decent day. Wasn't bad. Spent the day kind of just hanging out, relaxing, watching some Better Call Saul. Stayed up way too late last night, like 4 a.m. Still watching it. I'm into season 4. I mean, I really only started like last week, on the weekend maybe, or maybe even the weekday. Season 4. She's getting pretty good. So I'm just kind of waiting to see how that ends, where they leave it off. I know Mike, the character Mike from Breaking Bad, he came back. Some of like the dealers and or whatever distributors are in there still. I was wondering if maybe at some point they would actually have a clip of at least Walter White and Jesse Pinkman, but I really doubt it. Um, but yeah, I mean, so far I think it's really good. I think season 3 had like a little bit of a boring spot, but for the most part, it's really suspenseful. It pulls you in, so I liked it. What's going on, Randy? Jay Ricks, working and listening, man. You always working, man. Hopefully you can get a weekend off, a whole solid weekend off one of these days, man. What's going on, E? Appreciate you guys being in here. Shout out to Replay Crew, the homie Romy, and Mark Johnson. Sometimes Ty, he'll watch the replay if he doesn't jump in here. But yeah, said, just been watching a lot of Breaking Bad, or Better Call Saul. I was curious when in the series he'll finally be able to be Saul Goodman, his character, what is supposed to be a series is Better Call Saul. Um, based on like the him being Saul Goodman in Breaking Bad, and finally into season 4, but it's not attorney stuff. It's him doing commercials, and he calls it Saul Goodman Productions. So I think probably towards the end of the series is when he kind of finally becomes that Saul Goodman character and starts doing law under that name or alias or whatever you want to call it. So. No worries, E. No worries, man. That's cool though. Much luck on her dance performance. That's really cool, man. J Ricks, I like money too much. Yeah, you got to keep buying stuff, huh? Pipe down, E. Santa Tom, what's going on, man? Rick's is supposed to supporting the ones on. Jeez. I left it in the bathroom. I was going to show you guys, and the fact that it's not there. Only the cardboard of it is, or the tube, cardboard tube. But I did end up getting some Bay Area this week. Ooh. That mango berry lemon Somerset, and it is amazing. I like it a lot. Got in beer today, so bam, there you go. Bay Area. And you can use code Twitch and get an additional discount. Code should be still good, as far as I know. Uh, Non-affiliate, it's just a discount code for everybody. But yeah, really happy with that summer scent. I love the white bottles. I think more companies should do white bottles. They're just really clean, really cool looking. So I like them. Kind of what drew me in. And then I was like, dude, I haven't gotten a summer scent this year, so let's go with that. And then I got the liquid butter, and I ended up getting Bachelor's Delight with butter, and of course, at this point it melted. So because it's whipped, once it melts down and resolidifies, it looks like you only got half a can left because of the difference between like a poured and a whipped. Um, the volume So fortunately, it doesn't look whipped anymore. But nevertheless, really good. Yeah, one of these cool Bay Area stickers. Thought this was pretty tight. Pirate sticker. And then got two of those, and this one right here. Which I believe like half of these are shirts too. I want to say this one's probably a shirt, and I think this one might be a shirt too. Maybe even this. I don't know. He does a lot of the shirts and stuff, and the graphics are also stickers as well. So still got to pick me up one of his shirts and hats. And then Chad with BHT Grooming was awesome enough to send me out some products too. So that was really cool. Actually ended up using his butter last night, a nice fragrance-free butter. So yeah, I was pretty amazed. I was really happy with that Bay Area scent. The mango isn't like super hard. It's not like crazy strong. It's like a good perfect blend of that mango in there, which I thought was nice. And I always love how his beard oil style. So I definitely happy with it. And then I ended up getting the liquid butter in the summer scent. So figured why not. Hey, what's going on, Amber? Been here, but was in the kitchen. Right on. What you cooking up? Oh yeah, the EDC hat. Got it. He just dropped that summer 6-pack. I believe he's got. As of last night, I checked. I think there was. I want to say seven left, but I'm not sure because when I clicked on it elsewhere, it said 5. That even comes to like a little 3D printed little carrier, which is really cool. Something really cool that he did. I think that's pretty badass. Um, make sure to check that out right now. You buy the whole set of 6, you get it for $100, free shipping. So you're getting what 6 of them for the price of like 5 of them. So definitely, definitely something to look into. We'll see if I am able to grab some. I don't know if once they're gone, you will restock or not, but definitely something I'm thinking of buying. Send some OT money over there. Yeah, Rick, send us some of that OT money, man. You're gonna send them some stamps. Oh, you guys are wild. Got some Hemp Wizard Loco Sangria. Huh. I've not heard of that scent from them. I have a brand new bottle of like grape and something else. And I haven't busted into it. I need to. Maybe this next few weeks or something. Yeah, excited to see how these scents from BHT Grooming work out. I tried his product before, but he sent testers and they were fragrance free. There was no fragrance or essential oils for scent in it. It was just a carrier, and even just the fragrance free carrier had a very pleasant natural scent, which I really enjoyed. Messing around the house, cleaning, making tea, working on various projects. Right on, right on. Yeah, project that we got to work on is getting back in the garage and continue cleaning up and getting rid of stuff that we may not need, maybe organize a little bit. We definitely need to get into that closet underneath the stairs, which I really wish that it would be like a little entryway nook. Be kind of cool, hang your coats and stuff. But um, it's just what I call a Harry Potter closet, and we end up throwing all our like supposed to go to shred pile in there, and art stuff, and our Christmas decor, which I don't know why that's not in the garage, but there's a ton. It's just filling up that space. So we definitely got to find a way to store that. I don't, I don't know if I want to do overhead storage in the garage and start throwing them in bins like that, which I think would be best. And that way we can actually get all the cleaning stuff in there in a rack or whatever, and go through those boxes of old mail that we haven't shredded and just burn it all instead of shredding it, and just be a lot easier. Just get a barrel and throw it in there and just say goodbye to it. This is just way too much stuff. They have Red Bastard from Lux in beard. Beanie brought me some. He brought me a bottle down when he came and visited. I still haven't put it in beer. I need to just to check it out. It's been a really long time since I've had any luxurious in beer. I had somebody else send me a bottle out one time, and that was a long time ago, like 2021. What's going on, Jay? What's up, man? It is currently 10. No, it's currently 90 something. It's 93 out. It's gonna be 103, high at 103. This week, that's kind of mild compared to the week we've had. We've had 111, 113. So we've definitely have got that summer heat now finally. And it wasn't that bad. I did wait till like almost the summer solstice, which I like because last few years we've gotten in, the week of summer solstice or after. So I think that it'll be a decent summer. We always get like a week that's got a few 120s, maybe 2 weeks where it's got a few 120s here and there. And then once it calms down, then we're nice weather for the rest. Once that heat goes away, we can wear shorts and tank tops again for the rest of the year. So, it is what it is. What's going on, Bearded Beanie? There you go. Heck yeah. Better tell that mailman to step his game up, dude. He's probably messing with you. He's like, you keep giving me fake names. Yeah. My wife's telling the kids, like, you guys want to go to the pool today? I'm like, oh, heck no, not again. They're going to go cook over there. Granted, I think it might have been hotter last weekend when they went. So, yeah, Cameron's face is like peeling. He took a shower today, and I'm like, dude, get some lotion, bro. Your face is peely. Oh, goodness. I wouldn't doubt it, Nick. Fourth bottle of Red Bastard. Woo! Smells exactly like Polo Red. Nice. I know Brocass has like a Polo Red that they have. Kick you out for being a loose cannon. Nick the loose cannon, not Nick Cannon. Nick the loose cannon. Let's go. Probably. Yeah, it was kind of cool to get a day off, although it was Thursday, which I was getting a day off and then having to go back to work the next day. That's why like midweek days off is kind of, but it was pretty cool. Like I said, I woke up, I didn't really realize we had the day off, so I logged in. There was nobody there. Everyone said logged out. I look at the schedule. I'm like, oh, okay. So we do. All right, cool. No one had said nothing. Then I go back and check the chat, and like 2 or 3 people had said something. I didn't pay enough attention because Slack is not cool. You post your question in Slack and no one answers. You got to answer yourself. So, end up watching Better Call Saul for the better part of the day. Ordered some food, and yesterday just felt really long. I think it's because of the day off, on Thursday, but yeah, pretty good week. Just sad that now it is actually really too hot to be riding, so you can't even go ride your bike. Granted, the sun's not out, or almost not out around 7, so like you're not getting beat by the sun, but it's still 100 plus. Yeah, no, definitely not trying to ride. I mean, once the sun's like done, I mean, you could if it's still hot, but like I said, it's just too hot. I just haven't been doing that. And I don't wake up early enough. There's no way. I'm not a morning person. Yep, he definitely is. He's closing at the end of the month. Yeah, a lot of people like luxurious for that. I've heard that a lot. What's going on, Dave? Stopping in from work. Right on. Hopefully you have a good work day. It's always nice to have a really good work day, Hopefully it goes by quick too. And get back to home and relaxing. Yeah. Matters of paying enough attention. Honestly, I was actually ready. I was ready to go. I logged in. I'm like, oh, but no one's here. I was like, all right, let me go check the schedule, make sure that I'm just not seeing things. you see like calls in queue that are just being answered by like the automated system to tell them they're not open? I'm like, oh, I was like, definitely don't want to hit that button to go live because then I'm gonna get a call. So mad at myself on the Creed. I'm missing on the Creed. I think Elite Grooming has a Creed. Hit. Are you gonna get fired on your day off? So they got me stealing boxes. Stealing boxes? What you trying to do? Build a clubhouse? Right? Got my shoes tight. Was it? What does he say? Back to school. What's going on, Luis? What's up, brother? To make a treehouse? Yeah. That's wild, man. Those 5 weeks are gonna go by quick, Beanie. I'm telling you. I'm excited for you. I'm excited for you, man. What's going on? Smokelahoma Slim. He remembered. It's funny. In case you thought I was the clown, but you thought that I was dead. Freaking clown. Which is funny because then he does Happy Gilmore and he busts the nose off that clown. You ain't so funny now, are you, clown? He's got his lunch pack tight or his shoes tight. What is it? Something like that, right? Hope I don't get eat a fight back to school. Doing all right. My girlfriend tells me we're going to get a heat wave, so we have to be prepared for that. Ooh, yeah, never fun. Only the other day we had, I think it was only like 100 and it said excessive heat warning. I started to laugh and I'm like, for Arizona, that's not excessive heat warning. That's a nice day in southern Arizona in summer. Yeah, dude. Um, Whenever, man, drop me an email. My email's in the description of the channel, which I'll probably change up soon. Something a little more clean, a little more concise. But yeah, man, that'd be fun. Of course, you remember the clown stuff. Oh goodness. Hey, Happy Gilmore 2 next month, right? Supposedly, allegedly is what I'm gonna say because I just keep seeing all these things, but who knows? Let's go check. Let's see. I'm now really curious. It's supposed to be. Is it supposed to be on Netflix? It says 2025. It's Netflix, so it's going to be on Netflix July 25th. So July 25th. So we're almost a month away from Happy Gilmore 2, which I'm really curious how they're going to play that out. But I guess something to look forward to for the summer, right? Anybody going to watch some X Games? I know the X Games are right around the corner. I want to say they're probably this week, maybe. Let's check that out. What the? It's not. There we go. Okay, so yeah, 23rd to the 25th says X Games 2025 is happening with events in multiple locations. X Games Aspen 2025 will be held in Buttermilk Mountain in Aspen, Snowmass, 23rd, 25th, featuring ski and snow. Additionally, X Games Osaka 2025 will take place in Japan, marking the event's debut in Osaka with skateboarding, BMX, and Moto X competitions on June 21st and 22nd. So today is the X Games start in Osaka, Japan for skateboarding, BMX, and Moto X. So Salt game, Salt Lake City 2025 scheduled for June 27th to 29th. The Utah State Fair Park and Event Center. Doesn't tell me what they'll have there, but there you go. Let's see if we can get a schedule of it. It says 20th to 22nd on X Games website. Maybe Google's wrong. See, Google's not your friend. Don't trust it. That's the first thing that pops up on Google. And if you go to X Games and you click on the 2025 Osaka, it says 20th to 22nd live right here. So Google was wrong by a day. Schedule adjustments for your local time zone. Upcoming today, Best Trick Moto, BMX Street. I think Moto X Best Trick already happened. It says results. Then BMX Street starts at 5:45 p.m. Flatline at 7:05 p.m. You got Skateboard Vert Best Trick at 8:35 p.m. Women's Skate Park 9:25 p.m. Men's Skateboard Street at 10:45 p.m. Then they start back up on Sunday at 12:15 a.m. So I think Moto X Best Trick already happened. Maybe something else did too. But yeah, if you guys are into action sports, there you go. Let me catch up on some of these comments. Okay, this one's right here. All right, and then we are boom. Oh, yeah, I can't really see them today. Yep, the BMX. The BMX is in the evening time, so you definitely got enough time to catch it. I wish their street courses were more laid out like actual street, though. I do enjoy BMX Street more than I do Park. What's going on, Frankie? What's up, brother? Of course you did. Felicia, always, always. No, I'm not going to Worlds, man. That's too far for me. It would take some serious funds to get there, fortunately. It'd be cool to check something like that out, though. I would not even to compete though, because I wouldn't even compete. I would just have to just go to like meet some cool people. To be honest. Pacers, I thinking that's all sports. I don't watch very many of those. Dude, Elite's got some cool stuff, man. He definitely has some cool stuff. I like that he does a lot of like cologne scents. So if you like cologne scents, they're the way to go. They have a lot of good stuff. It's only 4 hours away from you, but I don't know anything about it. And on top of that, I don't know if I got to pay tickets. Don't have money for hotel stuff like that, so I'm not going. I would say talk to some people in the community that may either live in the area or are going to see if you got to buy tickets because I don't know either. But maybe somebody cool enough to like put you up. Never know. Meet some cool people. Maybe 6 hours away actually. Just yeah, it's a bit of a drive. It's about how far the beach is from me. So my son's going to be 7 games for the finals before it even started. All I said was, "Told you." Okay, so $60 to spectate, 80 to compete. Dang, bro. Jay is going right on. Yeah, you'll meet some cool people, man. I just know 6 hours is a long way to drive. So no fancy drinks today. No energy drinks. Just some water with some flavor in it. Just your basic stuff. Are you? I figured you would at some point. I saw them at the fuel station, and I decided to not get them. I was very disappointed in the fuel station because they got those ones, but they never got the posty ones. So I was like, yeah, I don't know. So I decided against them. I put them back on the shelf. I don't even think I was considering. I just looked at them. I was like, look, like they got these now. What's going on? And then I just put them back. I said, nah. I did end up getting some Sour Patch Kids that were turned into Mexican candy. They called them Spicy Bros. So I thought they were like gummy bears or something, but they weren't. But they were the Sour Patch. And they weren't bad. They were good. Right on. I haven't had any of Betty in like a long time. Goodness. Yeah, Celsius got some cool flavors. Uh, they had they used to only have the slim cans, like the small ones, and now they actually got like the 16-ounce cans, which I've been wanting to try. I just haven't grabbed any. So maybe today, when if I go out anywhere, maybe I'll grab a couple of those. Those ones are usually on sale at the fuel station. It's like buy two get one or something. Hey, get out from underneath that door. What are you doing? What are you doing? You sound like a crazy over there, sniffing the heck out of the door. Watch your foot, dude. Fleece, you didn't like them? I thought they were pretty decent, dude. I like them. Um, those in Fit Aid. I finally found the Fit Aid RX ones at Bash's. They had them, but they were almost like $4 a can. So like, yeah, no. I said, no way, I'm gonna pay $4 a can for this right now. So I had to put it back. Um, I thought of just ordering them online because you definitely get like a good discount ordering those online. So I've really got considered doing that, but I don't know. We'll see. Nothing beats the churro. The churro Oreos, they have those. I don't think I've even seen them. Peanut butter Oreos, much better. Yeah, see, I don't eat very many cookies. Like I said, like when I do, I have to be careful though, because then I'll start eating too many of them. But I usually end up going for like chips and other stuff. Do you guys ever make like a mix, like a snack mix of chips? And if so, what ones do you use? We recently made one with extra hot Cheetos, hot fries, Doritos spicy nachos, and spicy pork rinds. And it wasn't bad, but the Reds brand is not the ones that I like for the pork rinds, dude. Like I like the baconette ones; those are better. But apparently, I guess Walmart didn't have them, so that was a big letdown. Got my Subway sandwich fixed this week. That was good. Subway's got that buy 1 foot long, get one for $1 right now, or they got the summer 4.99 6-inch. So there you go. You know, Subway had to put out like a statement saying that they never advertised their footlongs being a one person serving, and a lot of people have been misled to think that it's one serving per person, and they've gone back to say that it's actually meant for two people. I'm like, dang, dude. Because too many people are just eating the whole thing and then complaining that they weren't losing weight or something. Who knows? Because I think that's kind of like the gist was behind it or something. What are you doing, dude? What are you doing? What are you doing? Well, get up here. There you go. There you go. There you go. You like that one? You like that one? Doritos nachos, Pringle cheese potato, maybe barbecue. Nice. We usually keep Doritos on hand because the kids love those. Um, Although I like the Lay's version a little more because they got more crunch to them. But usually, yeah, we keep the sour cream and onions on deck because either the regular Lay's or the Pringle style Lay's or the Pringle ones. My kids love those. My daughter used to call them green chips. She's like, I want some of the green chips. I was like, what green chips? What are you talking about? Those ones. I'm like, oh, sour cream and onion? Yeah, green chips. Beanie, you don't like Celsius? Yeah, that's hot Cheetos and Doritos were probably like my. Oh, I don't know, as a kid, I definitely like Doritos, but I like hot Cheetos, or the Fritos, the regular chili cheese Fritos, right? And then regular cheese Cheetos, dude. I still like the regular cheese Cheetos a lot. What's up, Mark? What's going on, brother? Uh, there's definitely something that probably triggered the dog. Um, Dogs don't generally like anybody in their face or you looking into their eyes and staring them down. Um, they take very big disrespect to that. Uh, but usually, if a dog gets bit you in the face, it was probably provoked by something. We have to remember that they can't talk. They can't tell us what's going on, what they're feeling, what they're thinking, or how they'll react to something. So just there's again, it could have been anything. Um, I've always brought my dogs up with me looking at them in the eye and staring into their soul. you know, uh, ever, since puppy, getting in their face and just kind of desensitizing them to the fact that I'm right here. I'm, cuddle you up, grab you, and it all goes down to like you bring up your dog and just always grabbing them every which way you can, just touching them, messing with them, playing with them. You know, um, for me, obviously, like I have to be able to look into his eyes and him look back at me and you know do our deal. Most people don't generally raise their dogs to stare into their eyes and be like, hey, what are you doing, bud? Let's go. We got to get going or whatever. Like for me, I kind of have to. It's kind of our way we communicate, especially out in public. Um, you know, him being able to look at me and now me look at him in the eye and him know like if I wanted to stay where he's sitting at or if I wanted to get over to me. Um, but yeah, most people don't, and generally dogs don't like being stared at like that. So some people, yeah, I can imagine I've gotten bit in the face. Our rescue, she is like that. She's very particular. She doesn't like anybody in her face. Um, and if you do stare her down, she doesn't like it. Um, she gets kind of, I don't know, she gets really weird. So she's not a dog that I would tell anybody to ever put their face in front of her and look into her like that because she is probably going to try to. Um, they generally just don't like it. Uh, has she tried it? Kind of. I feel like most of the time they're kind of just nipping at people, trying to tell them to get out of their face, and most people don't really understand that, and they continue to do it, and that ends up provoking the dog, and they end up getting bit in the face. Um, but I wouldn't say like it's. I don't see it happen very often because most dogs just want to please you. So, I mean, at that point, you really got to like understand like what could have triggered the dog, and that's usually with any case. Any dog that just for the if they're generally a nice dog and they're really gentle, and out of nowhere that something like that has happened, you really have to stop and think like what could have provoked the dog, and then kind of get to the root of the cause and try to figure out how you, as a responsible pet owner, can avoid that from happening again, and how you can desensitize your dog to being okay with certain situations. Um, a lot of people have kids, and there's definitely some great breeds out there that are very good with kids. Um, they can roughhouse with them. They can run amok with them. Nothing. There's other dogs that are not very big on temperament. They will react to that, and you just kind of have to learn how to work with the dog like that when you bring it home, so that that doesn't end up happening to you or your family or your kids or anybody that comes over. I always tell my wife, we have to remember there's always kids in and out of the house because we have kids, so their friends come over. I always got to remember, if we get a dog, we have to be able to desensitize it to anything and everything that could possibly happen, so something bad doesn't happen. Because being on our watch, that's not something good. Oh, freaking Nick, you always are. At least I think Dave is at work, so I think he just stopped in to say what's up real quick. Mark, you remembered Smokelahova Slew. Took Opie out for a walk at the school this morning. Della is a lot better too. That's good to hear, man. That's good to hear. I wonder what caused her to have like such a severe allergic reaction. Dude, her eye looked like some just. It looked like a person that got punched in the eye, dude. Her eye was swollen, dude. It was wild. Yeah, like I said, um, the best advice I can give anybody that's like, oh, I'm looking to get a dog, find a dog breed that fits you, and it may not be the dog that you actually want based on its looks. A lot of people just want a certain dog because of how it looks. You really got to understand, like, will it fit my lifestyle? Will it fit me, what I'm about, how I do, my routine, my day to day? Dogs are very much creatures of routine. Um, you know, are you going to be responsible enough to take it out in public? As a pup, to it can get socialized properly, so it's good with people, it's good with kids, it's good around, you know, random situations. A lot of people are like, well, I can't take my dog out because it's not, vetted yet, blah, blah. It's like, I get that, but you have to understand that that dog has to see human and animal interaction in order for it to grow up to not be aggressive and be cool with everything it encounters. And if you don't do that, then that dog's not going to turn out in a way that you're going to be happy with, because it could end up in a situation like that. So being able to socialize your dog is the biggest thing. People need to do a little more research before deciding to take on something like that. Because, like I said, they can't talk to you. You are their voice. They can't tell you, "Hey, I don't feel good today. I am not having it today. Just leave me alone." They just end up looking some, type of way to you, like, "I just don't feel good." Like, I gotta account for that on days where I know he's not feeling up to it. I know he don't feel good. He's just kind of having an off day. I, as a responsible pet owner and service dog handler, have to know, like, hey, okay, so today we're not going to go anywhere, or if I do, I got to muster up the courage to do it by myself, and that's okay, because there are days that he is going to be like, I just don't want to do anything today. I just want to be left alone. He's having an off day. I have to understand that and have to realize that, and really, know my dog, to where I can see, like, hey, you're just not having a good day today, bud. All right, cool. You know, they they got a mind, they got a brain. They're not robots. So we all have to account for that. And I think a lot of time, like, people will put their dogs into stressful situations and just be like, oh, he'll be all right, and then turn around. I don't care how good a dog is trained. My rule is always, do not ever leave your dog in a room with a child unattended, ever, by any chance. I don't care how highly trained that dog is. You are not to ever leave a dog unattended in a room with a child, or even anybody that comes into your house. Someone comes into your home and you're like, "Oh yeah, I'll be right back," and you disappear for 10 minutes. We don't know what could have happened in those 10 minutes, right? If something was to happen, we don't know how the child's playing with the dog in those 10 minutes that we've turned her back. That situation can turn bad very quickly. You come back and a child is now mauled because you decided to walk away and leave your dog in a room with the child. I don't care how highly trained your dog can be. You don't leave your animal, your dog, your best buddy, in a room with a child or anybody that just comes into your home that you think maybe something possibly happened. Because at the end of the day, you love your buddy, right? You don't want anything bad to happen to him. Those things have to be reported. You get bit by him, I mean, granted, most people that get bit by the rest probably don't report it, but if you bite somebody else that comes to your house, you've got to report that. I've always come to the conclusion that's just how cats play. They always like to do that. in the past, I really can't have cats. It's my eyes will just start getting real puffy and gross. In the past, I've had cats though, and they wake you up in the middle of the night. They want to play, and then just start beating your feet. And it's like, dude, what is going on right now? Like, I'm trying to sleep. They'll come up and just bite your feet. I'm like, dude, I'm going to sleep. Dude, like, go away. Yeah, I'm not a very big cat person. Well, they are fairly self sufficient. Harlan saw her eating a flower on the patio. Yeah, you got to be careful. There's a lot of vegetation that'll, or plants that'll the dogs can react to, give them an allergic reaction. And that's like another thing. Like people get pets and then they put these plants in their backyard that they have no clue just because they look cool, and it turns out they're poisonous to their dog, and now their dog is sick. So that's like another thing that you got to look into as well. Like when you do landscaping, like what landscaping can I do that's going to be friendly for my pet? Like he can be out there, nothing's going to happen. If he ate it, okay, it's not a big deal. Um, even taking out your dog to the local park. If you don't know what plants are out there, don't let your dog play in them. Your dog can end up seriously hurt. A bored pet will destroy stuff. A bored pet is a destructive pet. If your dog isn't bored, it won't destroy stuff, which means that you got to spend every waking moment for the first couple years, maybe three, interacting with your dog as much as possible, playing with your dog as much as possible. If you're not in the room with it, it needs to be either in a crate or in a crate. Because you've been going outside, you're gonna see that if you leave your dog out there, he's gonna start getting stuff, digging holes. We had to break him of it, which means that every time he'd go to the bathroom, I'd be out there with him, making sure that he's not digging. Every time I'd see him dig, no digging, and it's just repetitive, man. You just got to keep doing it. And he finally stopped. I can now let him out, and I don't let him out and just leave him out there though. I still either sit by the door and watch, and then come back in. You can't leave them unattended. They're like a baby. They're like a toddler. They're gonna get into stuff. They're gonna destroy things if they're bored, mostly, right? Um, you decide if your dog's going to be a destructive dog or not by the things that you leave laying out, by not watching him, by letting him do his own thing. First thing that you need to do when you pull that dog out of the crate after the night is right outside to the bathroom. If you don't, it's going to go in the house. A lot of people go, well, you just keeps going in the house. Okay, but what are you doing? Not watching the dog, right? You're letting him in the house and just letting him do his own thing. So now he's gotten into something, and now there's poo and pee in 2, 3 different spots. You're supposed to be watching them so that you can teach it to go outside. Yeah, well, no, we're going out. Boom, there you go. You got it's just repeat, routine and repeat. You know what I'm saying? Like if you wake up in the morning and that's your routine, okay. If you wake up in the morning and they like to eat before, okay. Well, I mean, some dogs like to do that. Okay, but that has to be every morning, and then right after that, right outside. So that dog knows that on the days that you may be like, oh man, I got to do this real quick, that dog's gonna go sit by that door. It's gonna wait for you to let it out. It's not gonna go, oh, I'm just gonna go in the house. So it's a lot of work, and it can be destructive. So you do have to be prepared to lose something. Sometimes it just depends. Like I said, if you're watching your dog all times, you really should have minimal to no destruction. Romy, what's up, bro? Getting the oil change in the work whip. Nice. Not much, man. Just chilling. Just because I still want to interact with pets, and that's fine. A lot of people don't. There's nothing wrong with that. It's like a lot of people just rather not have kids. Nothing wrong with that either. You know. There you go, Beanie. I've I've done it a few times. It's just repetition, repetition. Your basic commands. You know, It's you don't even, I don't ever use stay. It's just sit down, off. A lot of people end up doing off on the furniture. It's not off. It's not a or get down. It's not get down from the furniture. It's get off the furniture, because down is a command for them to lie down. So you don't want to mix that up. So it's off. Just you don't want to jump on off. Uh, I generally don't let my dogs on the furniture, and they know better. Are there times where he gets excited and wants? Yeah, he'll do it. But as soon as you tell him to get off furniture, he gets off furniture. So like I said, stay is not something that I teach. For the fact that if you teach your dog to sit, your dog's supposed to sit there until you release him from it. So sitting him to sit and stay is not. It's just sit, and he or she should know to sit and stay there without you saying stay. The dog's supposed to just sit there until you release him from that command. And if you just do that, then the dog will finally learn that when you tell it to sit or down, it's going to hold that down or sit until you release it, and it's not going to try to walk away after a while because you didn't say stay. it it doesn't work. You can't because at the end of the day, so for every month of their life, they're supposed to be able to hold it for an hour. So by the time they're a year old, they should be able to hold it for an entire day, like 8 hours, an 8 hour day. Now, you should probably never let your dog hold it for that long. Um, Usually summertime is, obviously really hot down here. So I'll go 4 hours in between. And then obviously at night after they're fed, come back in, end of the night, and then it's bedtime. Um, but every 2 hours, um, then they're wanting to go out every 2 hours. They're not going to hold it past the 2 hours because they're going to be used to every 2 hours. Let's go. Their bladders are going to be used to that every 2 hour interval. So they're going to be like, oh, let's go. We can't be let out. Let's just go in the house. So you definitely got to build that up. And that's where that crate comes into play. Teaching your dog to go outside and potty training, the crate is a big useful tool in that. Every time it comes out of the crate outside, and if you're not there to watch it, just go back in the crate. If I have to take a shower and I got a puppy, that dog's got to go in the crate because I guarantee you that if I get out of that shower, something is going to be tore up. Would it be the baseboard, maybe even a door frame, your laundry, jumping into the toilet to drink out of it, and and I've had dogs caught them drinking out the toilet, and it's one of those things where you just leave the seat down, and every time you catch it by there, nope, out of the bathroom, out. And enough times will happen, and obviously with positive reinforcement and treats, the dog finally learn to leave that toilet alone. It won't dig into that trash can. Like I could leave a bag of trash sitting out on the floor, and Cosmo won't get into it. He'll walk past it and maybe sniff it, and as soon as I see that interaction, leave it. And he'll look at me and just walk away from it. And after enough times, he just knows that he can just walk past that trash bag of trash, and that's that. It's just a bag full of trash sitting there, waiting for us to do our thing, take it out. Usually like if we're cleaning, doing like a big through the week, things get tore up when you have kids. So grab a trash bag, start throwing everything in there. He'll leave it alone. It's like the vacuum fear. Teaching the dog that the vacuum is not an enemy or something to be scared of. It's not hard. It's doable, but you have to do the repetition with it. Bringing the dog around the vacuum when it's off, showing it that the vacuum is not anything to be scared of. Turning it on, letting him kind of do his thing, kind of in the back, and just calling him over slowly and slowly and slowly and surely. Your dog will no longer be scared of that vacuum. Your dog will be able to walk past that vacuum while you're vacuuming and not react to it. But again, it just takes a lot of repetition. It's a lot of things that a lot of times we don't want to do, but we want that puppy, right? We want that dog. Oh, we all want a dog. And let's be honest, most of the time there's one person in the house that's left having to do the training part while everyone's like, we wanted a dog. And then no one's actually contributing to the let's train and take care of the dog. Most of the time, your family will end up doing the exact opposite, and it makes you do double time the work. But if you spend that time Your dog's going to love you immensely. You will bond with your dog. That training time that you have with them is going to solidify that. Especially if you're looking for a dog for you, you have to spend that time with it so that it attaches. You have to make that imprint on your dog. If you're bringing a dog home and you want it just to be solely for you for whatever purpose, you have to make an imprint on it. So that dog needs to spend as much time with you and you alone for the first few weeks that it's at your house before everybody else starts interacting with it. Everybody really needs just to ignore him, her, whatever, until you've made that imprint where that dog is, and that's what it comes around. Like, they follow you around like a little puppy dog, right? You have to take advantage of that. That's a good thing. And sometimes it's a pain because he still does it to this day. I'll turn around, he's right there, and almost trip over him. I'm like, "What are you doing, buddy?" And I'm like, sometimes you just forget. It's like, all right, yeah, I get it. All right, cool. Just follow me around. Before I know it, I'm turning around too fast, and he's right there. So, but that's because I've made that imprint with him where he's going to follow me around while I'm doing house chores, whatever. And then sometimes he'll stop and just go do his own thing real quick, come back. There will reach a point when you have a dog where you will be able to trust it to just let him kind of do his own thing, you know, and he's not going to get into stuff, but it takes that time. Not letting him into certain areas of the house. Don't give him full reign of the house when you bring him home. You decide where he's going to be at, and you can slowly start letting those areas open as the dog gets older and it's learned to stay out of things, learn to go outside and let you know. Those are the things that you got to do before you can really just let the dog do its own thing. And even when no one's home, I generally don't like leaving the dogs out because, again, as highly trained as the dog can be, you never know. It can still get into something. And when you come home, that something could have been bad or bad for their health. He rather have more kids. I'm good on that. Yeah, yeah. It's definitely tough at first because when they're puppies, they have to be let out at least every hour. So with you not being home and having to go to work, there's no one there to take it. So you're going to have that hurdle of you're going to come home to accidents in that kennel, and that's very counterproductive to them actually learning to go outside. Not saying that they're not going to have accidents in there, but you want to make sure they stay to a minimum. And generally, each kennel will come with a partition, screen thing, so you can close off the kennel on one side, so it's just small enough for that dog to be able to stand up and just turn around and then lie down in that kennel. That way, the dog's not going to go inside that kennel. Generally, the dog's not going to go where they sleep, so they're going to hold it. So again, going back to that crate's going to be the best tool that you're going to have in training your dog to be housebroken, to go potty. Never using it as a timeout deal, but you definitely want to associate good times with the crate. So feeding them in the crate, when they first get home, showing them that that's their cave, that's their space. If they want to go chill, they want to go relax, they can go do that in there. No one's gonna bug them. Make sure you get a blanket or a crate cover. I always tell kids that they're in their crates. That's their downtime. Let them chill, let them rest, let them just do their thing in there. That's their safe zone. They need to feel that they're safe and that they have a place that they can go and decompress, just like us. They need to decompress as well from everything, the day, whatever chaos, if people came over, that can be super stressful to them. And it goes back to somebody got bit. Okay, well, the dog could have been very stressed. The only way he knew how to react was to bite. Not saying that it's okay, but it goes back to what did you do when you got the dog to socialize it? If you like having a lot of people over, well, you're gonna have a heck of a time because puppies do need to go out every so often, right? And if you're entertaining and doing all that, you're gonna have a hard time doing that and the dog at the same time. But if you want that dog to be able to do that, then you gotta, put in that work. Bring people over, we all hang out, constantly, taking them out, bringing them back in, doing all that. That way the dog, next time there's a good gathering and he's already 4 years old, you won't have to worry about it. But again, always having your dog within within your range, within your vicinity, right? Always being able to have your eye on them, regardless of who's, here, who's not here. just for their safety and and obviously for everybody else's as well. Tuxedo cats, I see those things are cool. Jay said he's going to Worlds. Seattle, huh? Yeah. And cost of living out in Washington, insane, isn't it? I know there's not very much rank caps in the country. And that kind of sucks. A lot of people struggle with that. Cosmo, hey, leave it. Get away from that door. Away from the door. Thank you. I haven't been there in a long time. My grandma still to this day she lives in Kennewick, but I haven't been there since I was a kid. It's been a long time since I've been to Washington. Come here. What? Oh, 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 you're just being good? You just want to go down there and get crazy? Oh, you miss Pixie? You're such a butt. Yeah, I haven't been to Washington in a really long time. I wouldn't mind going. My wife showed me a house out there that was like by the water, and I told her that's freezing cold. It's not like Southern California beach. It is freezing cold. That's not a beach that you just want to jump into. Nice. Yeah, they definitely got a lot of cool like forests and everything. Um, a lot of people think like the water's not cold, and it's like yeah, it's up there. That's not Southern California style. You got rain and snow. I mean, if you like that, then it's definitely a place to be. I just don't really like too much rain. It's definitely no. I don't like snow. I've heard like the cost of living is just a lot, which is like the case just about anywhere now. Even AZ, which used to be affordable, is getting too expensive, which is horrible. I know you got like homelessness rates in Arizona starting to, starting to kind of skyrocket a little bit. It's just sad because a lot of these, people that are homeless now are actual families and stuff. Yeah, we don't get much hiking out here. Wintertime, yes. Summers, you got to wake up hell early to do any type of hiking out here during the summer, which is kind of like one thing that kind of sucks. Like we're kind of limited to things to do in the summertime because of the heat. Um, but then once that goes away, at least down here, because you can always drive up north into the forest, and there's some really cool spots up north in Arizona that you can visit that have you know, good weather, not blistering hot. What are you doing? Yeah. There's a cat that has some cool print, almost like cheetah print, like an Egyptian cat. I wouldn't mind one of those. The ones I can't get behind are the hairless ones, dude. That's creepy. Or like those hairless dogs. It's so weird. They look creepy. I can't do that. Heck yeah, dude. So hopefully soon you can get that thing off the ground and sold. Yeah, I need to get a Dremel. I just haven't gotten around to it. They're not too pricey. I think they're like $40. Just definitely not on my top priority list, but yeah, something that I definitely need to get to. Getting. My daughter keeps for a while. She's asking. I just can't. I'd have to take like Claritin every dang day. It just messes with me so bad. Nice. Heck yeah. This guy rolling around the bed. That stink rope. Oh, dude, he needs a new rope. That rope is disgusting. So I don't even like playing that rope anymore because then you just end up stinking. There you go. These stories now will include Jackson. That's what's up. What are you doing? Rolling around like a crazy? This freaking vape is weird. So it's like a battery bank magnets. Isn't that weird? So you can like charge it and then just use this part and put the battery bank on it to bring back some charge to it. It's just weird. I don't know if I can get that one again. What, bud? What, bud? Come on, get up here. Come here. Come here. Yeah, you're okay. You just want to go play, huh? You just want to go play with Pixie and Bugger, huh? Little bugger. See it? No, get out of her kennel. You have your own. There you go. Tell you, the rope toy is one of the best ones, though. Helps floss their teeth, which is nice. And it's something they can destroy. With enough toys, your dog shouldn't be able to destroy anything in your house. Yeah, they'll probably try to get into something, but as long as you keep an eye on your dog, plenty of toys circulating. You always want to trade out their toys every few days so they become kind of like something new to them. And you'll be all right. Well, switching out the toys sometimes is a pain in the ass because I'll forget. But if you switch out the toys every 3 days, and then your dog will usually feel like he's got something new to play with, even though it's not new. And they'll be excited and they'll spend a lot of time with that toy instead of destroying your house. All right, let me see it. No, give. No. Thank you. Yeah. Cat Wars. Or do you just make up a bunch of cat names? You usually use the Dremel to do your dog's nails. Just got to be careful. I watched the groomer do that once. I was like, oh, okay. And they just got through the race. I have to cut it out in sections. Nice. Well, I hope that thing will be fixed by the end of the day, Beanie. And you post it up for sale. Yeah, true. Now you try to keep that, put like some realness into the mix. Oh, it's cold. Well, it looks like we've been here for a little over an hour. So I'm gonna call it early today. Appreciate you guys for joining. Everybody, keep it real. Keep it G. And I'll see you guys next Saturday. Later.